good morning, the Finance Director, Mr. Barry, the Director of Strategy Development, Mr. Thomas, and the management and staff of GGC who are currently present here to attend this press conference. We call this press conference to highlight or to enlighten the public about the 2023-2024 trade season. And before giving the podium to the Deputy Managing Director, I would like to greet and thank all the journalists who are here present. We are very grateful to the journalists who has been with us during the whole season. And we are still with them, and we know that the media, they are very important partners in the national development. So that's why anything we are doing, we make sure that the media is engaged and the media are involved in our programs. And we also thank Panderi, who has also been liaising with the media most of the time. And we thank him for that, for doing that good service for GGC and for, towards the national development of the country. As we all know, the National Food Security, or the National Food Security Process and Marketing Corporation are responsible or are mandated to buy and process groundnut and also to export it. And in doing this, we undergo a lot of activities. And you have all seen, and this starts from the rainy season where we try to give fertilizer to the farmers. And from there, we also have the season starts. And then today, we are at the end of the season, the trade season. So we are very grateful. Without much ado, I will now call on the Deputy Managing Director, Mr. Lamin Sanyang, to do the press briefing. Thank you very much, Mr. Sanyang. I hold.
Thank you very much, Manager for Business Development, Mr. Fofan. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الحمد لله رب العالمين. On behalf of the Managing Director, Mr. Mohammed Ijai, who is currently on annual vacation, and we would like to welcome all of you, the media personalities that are all here, and of course the management and staff of the National Food Security Processing and Marketing Corporation. The purpose of this conference is to give a synopsis to the general public with regards to the 2023-2024 groundnut trading season that has just concluded. Now, I want to start that the purpose of this briefing, like I said, is to give an update to the general public in a just concluded 2023-2024 groundnut trading season, and also to shed light on some of the issues that emanated subsequent to the closure of the 2023-2024 groundnut trading season. We also want to brief the press and, of course, the general public that the National Food Security Processing and Marketing Corporation in 2023-2024 conducted a crop survey at the beginning of the trade season. And there was an anticipated bumper harvest with regard to the high quality of the ground. Now, the price of groundnut for this year, as announced by the President of the Republic of the Gambia, President Adam Barrow, was $38,000 per ton. And this price, all of us will agree, that is higher than our neighboring countries. However, even though the budgeted amount of tons by the corporation for 2023-2024 is 25,000 metric tons, we would like to announce that the corporation has proceeded to buy up to 26,000 tons, 36,000 tons as we speak. Let me repeat. When I say budgeted, it means every year we have our target like 25,000 or 30,000 or so. The previous years it was 20,000. This year, 2023-2024, we budgeted 25,000 tons. But as we speak, we have superseded that amount, and the total that we bought is 36,000 tons. During the trading season for 2023-2024, we partnered with our financiers, and that is Ajib Bank. Ajib Bank, they are very good partners for the past 3 years. They have been sponsoring the crop trading season on behalf of government. So we would like to thank them for being our very good partners. Now, during the 2023-2024, Ajib disbursed a total amount of $1.5 billion. Let me repeat. Ajib disbursed a total amount of $1.5 billion to buy grounds. Now, out of the, including commission I mean, these are monies that we pay to the CPMS, or you call them the SECOs. And that is about $40 million. That is already been paid to the SECOs for handling our grounds. Now, I'm making this to make contrary to reports that is coming out from some of the newspapers that there are farmers that are still being owed. And I want to make it very clear that as a management and as we speak, we have paid all the outstanding credit buying for all the SECOs in the Gambia. Now, for the past 2 weeks, the management of the corporation invited all the CPMS or SECOs with outstanding credit buying for the purpose of reconciliation. Otherwise, in the local terms, they call it nothing. Out of the whole SECOs that we are crying for nothing, only 40 SECOs responded quickly. And they were paid in full. Now, out of the 40 SECOs that came for the reconciliation last 2 weeks, 6 were not paid because they have shortages at their SECOs. Instead of we owing them, they are owing us money. And that has to be clear. Now, these shortages that we are talking of, is as a result of the total number of groundnut stone that is bought from the sectors, from the farmers, I mean, and not delivered to our depot. I think I'm being clear here. That the SECO receive a certain amount that they're supposed to deliver to our depot, and they don't deliver it. And they don't want to tell the farmers that we don't deliver your groundnuts to the depots. And as such, they will not be paid with regard to that shortage. The total storage that we have is about 856.135 metric tons. That is for the whole Gambia, the whole sectors in the Gambia. And that is costly to the corporation. Now, it is very important to note that the majority of farmers are yet to be paid by the CPMS because of their shortage. And they have to make that clear to the farmers. As far as this corporation is concerned, we don't owe any CPMS any outstanding balance. Now, in conclusion, I want to thank all our partners, including AGIP, and of course, the Office of the President, and of course, the President himself, the Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of Agriculture, and all other stakeholders in the groundnut sector. Now, this is just a statement that I just want to make. But going forward, I would like to present to you with regards to the amounts of money that was disbursed or given to each sector by AGIP, our partner, to buy groundnuts for this corporation. And we are going to look at it in circle forms. We are going to start in Bara. When I say Bara, we have Bara circle, we have Kerewan circle, and we have circles as we go on. Now, the first CPMS that I'm going to call will be in Sierra, in Bansan Circle, and that is Fulabantang. The amount of money that they receive from AGIP to buy groundnuts was $10 million. Now, the amount of groundnut that they purchase is 733 kilos. Now, what they delivered to our depots is 247 tons, 950 kilos. Therefore, they have a shortage. Maybe because the CPMS are 94, we'll go through them for the record. But if you want, also we can print and give it to you so that you can, maybe I may be having some, differences in decimals. But here is a well-presented report. So that will be available to you journalists to publish for the Gambians to know what actually happened. Now, if you go to Santiago, Bubu, how do you call it? Santonto Bubu. Now, the amount they received for purchase of groundnut is 7,300,000. Now, the amount of quantity of groundnut they purchased is 191 tons, 959 kilos. Now, what they deliver to our depot is 159 tons, 930. And therefore, they also have a shortage. Boiran, the amount of money that they receive from Egypt to buy nuts is 18 million, 249. Amount of groundnut they bought out of that money is 493, 157 kilos. What we receive at our depot is 456, 500 kilos. And therefore, there are shortages. Salo Sophie, they received 7,200,000. They purchased 189 tons, 107 kilos. And they delivered to our depot 173, 570. And therefore, there's a shortage. Down, the amount of money they received from Egypt is 10,500,000. The amount of groundnut they purchase is 274, 681 kilos. What they delivered to our depot is 263 tons, 900 kilos. And therefore, there's a shortage. In the Bara circle, you have Pakau, Penku. What they receive from Egypt to buy groundnut is 14,142,000. Now, what they bought was 372 tons, 166 kilos. What they delivered to our depot is 321, 310 kilos. And therefore, there's a shortage. It's going to take our time if I do that. It's too long. You come to Bafuloto. What they receive to buy groundnut from Egypt is 14,500,000. What they bought is 372, 200 and kilos. Now, what they deliver to our depot is 205. And therefore, there's a shortage. Bacala, what they receive from Egypt is 12,057,000. What they purchase is 309 tons, 4 kilos. What they deliver to our depot is 301 tons, 435 kilos. And therefore, there is a shortage. Kaba Koto, what they received was 52,000. What they bought is 384 tons, 690 kilos. What they deliver is 366 tons, 720. And therefore, there's a shortage. First, Jaga Choi. What they receive is 826,000 from Egypt. What they bought, 390 tons, 430 kilos. What they delivered to our depot, 380, 295. They are also a shortage. Bantan Kling. They received 11 million from Egypt. They bought 303 tons, 166 kilos. And they delivered 299 tons, 777 kilos. They have a shortage. Now you have beef. They received 8,728,000. And they bought 229 tons, 684. What we received at our depot is 198, 410. There is a shortage. Diabu, is it? They received 6,400,000. And what they bought is 165 tons, 317 kilos. What they deliver is 153, 630 kilos. There's a shortage. Basse Mansajang. They received 12,330,000 from Egypt. They purchased 325 tons, 603 kilos. What they delivered to our depot is 243, 870. There's a shortage. Sabi, what they received from Egypt is 10,567,000. What they bought was 269 tons and 16 kilos. What they delivered to our depot, 249 tons, 175. There's a shortage. Sa Sotuma Sire, they received $9,520,000 from Egypt. They bought groundnut 258 metric tons and 83 kilos. What they delivered is 218 tons, 805. They have a shortage. Suduol, what was given to them by Egypt was 13 million and 20,000. What they bought was 349 tons, 500 kilos. What they delivered to our depot is 310, 605 kilos. There's a shortage. Kulari, what they received from Egypt, 10 million, 110,000. What they bought as groundnut, 266 metric tons, 793. What they delivered out at our depot was 252 metric tons, 985, and there is a shortage. Dengri, what they received was 14 million, 465. What they bought was 380, 124 kilos. What they delivered was 355 tons, 765 kilos. A shortage. Bakadaji Jimara, is it? Yes. What they received was 8 million. What they bought was 211 tons, 522. What they delivered to our depot is 200 tons, 685. There's a shortage. Fatoto, what they received from Egypt is 7,810,000. What they bought was 205 metric tons, 430 kilos. What they delivered to our depot was 200 tons, 805 kilos. There's a shortage. Lower Salum, what they received from Egypt was 17,500,000. What they bought was 449 tons, 456. What they delivered is 392, 560 kilos. There's a shortage. Kaur, what they received from Egypt to purchase groundnut is 18 million and 15,789 dollars. Yes. What they bought is 473 tons, 461 kilos. What they delivered to us at the depot is 459, 880 kilos. There's a shortage. Labe, what they receive is 5,050,475 dollars. What they delivered, so what they purchased was 132 metric tons and 94 kilos. Now, what they delivered is 127 metric tons, 350. There's a shortage. Mintekunda in Badibu, that's in Kerawan Circle, they received $10,800,000. What they bought 295 metric tons, 496 kilos. What they deliver to our depot is 239, 750 kilos. There's a shortage. Farafenye, what they receive from Ajit to buy groundnut is 16,900,000. What they bought, 444 tons, 365. What they delivered to our depot, 415 kilos, 415 tons, 485 kilos. There's a shortage. Kudang, what? Kundang, yes, Kundang, yes. Kundang, what they receive from Ajit is 17,700,000. What they bought was 466 tons, 96 kilos. What they delivered is 388 and 20 kilos. There's a shortage. Darsilame Jara. What they receive from Ajit is 16,200,000. Now, what they bought was 426 tons, 300 kilos. What they delivered to our depot is 348 tons, 400 kilos. There's a shortage. Mahmoud Fana, what they received was 10,900,000. What they bought, 286, 833 kilos. What they delivered to us at the depot is 241 tons, 800 kilos. There's a shortage. Dalaba, they received 19,300,000. What they bought was 490 tons, 263 kilos. What they delivered, 485 tons, 190 kilos. There's a shortage. Patesam, what they received was 12,400,000. What they bought was 326 metric tons and 47 kilos. What they delivered was 309 and 50 tons, 50 kilos, sorry. 309 tons, 50 kilos. There's a shortage. I hope this one is conclusive. You have Tankunku. What they receive, 11,600,000. They bought 304 metric tons, 890. They delivered 294 tons, 620 kilos to our depot. There's a shortage. Now, Wasu, what they received from Ajip was 18,400,000. What they bought was 463, 519 kilos. What they delivered to our depot, 410 metric tons, 200 kilos. There's a shortage. Kataba Ker Omar. What they received from Ajip is 16,647. Now, what they bought was 431 tons, 398 kilos. What they delivered is 386, 590 kilos. There's a shortage. Bullock, they received 13,865,000. They bought 393 metric tons, 868 kilos. What they delivered to our depot was 339 metric tons, 850 kilos. There's a shortage. Karantaba in Sami, they received 6 million. Huh? 6,100,000. What they bought was 159 metric tons, 300 kilos. What they delivered was 154,720. There's a shortage. Sibanor in West Coast, they received 14,300,000. What they purchased was 375 metric tons, 720. What they delivered was 358 metric tons, 520. There's a shortage. Jifarong, they received 18,200,000. They bought 778 metric tons, 837. What they delivered to our depot is 391 tons, 10 kilos. There's a shortage. Quinella, they received 24 million. Now what they bought is 631 metric tons, 578 kilos. What they delivered to our depot was 561, 400 kilos. There's a serious shortage. Japine, they received 18,500,000. Where is it? Yes, it's in. They bought 484 metric tons and 24 kilos. Now, what they delivered to our depot was 436, 360 kilos. There's a shortage. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have all heard what the Deputy Director has already stated, and we have already mentioned all the sectors that have shortages. And you can see this a huge loss for the corporation. And contrary to what's been prevalent in town, that some of these sectors, GDC holds some of these sectors a substantial amount of money. So we thank you very much. And we will invite questions from the journalists in case you want to ask questions. The MD will be here to answer questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. Not glad from this time. My first question is how much in terms of monetary terms are we talking about here? And what is the GGC going to do to recover these funds?
Thank you very much, Mr. Pa. The shortages highlighted are enormous. And in monetary terms, it's going to cost the corporation $32 million. On the issue how we are going to do about that, we are going to put a mechanism to ensure that this amount is recovered from the SECOS. And that is in two folds. One, they still have some commission to be paid. And we are going to look at it and see each SECO, how much is your commission that remains with the corporation. And of course, all of us are aware that this money belongs to Gambians. It's not free money. We went to we took a loan from AGI to finance the trading system, of which the government is the guarantor. And this money therefore belongs to you and me, including the SECO president themselves. So it must be recovered, and we will recover it. Thank you.
Also, just to add from what my deputy managing director said, this loss is not sustainable, and this is not the first time it is happening. In the previous years, we've also experienced losses as a corporation. In as much as we will try to recover, in terms of recovering 100%, that is another question. But moving forward, as a corporation, I think it is very important that we will have to revisit our mode of operations or our mode of interactions with these sectors, because as DMD said, this money belongs to the country. And it is important that we are good custodians of what's been given to us. So that is all I wanted to add. Thank you.
The question I wanted to ask, you already answered that. Is it the first time or it has been happening?
Which media?
Which media?
GRTS.
Yeah, it's not you mentioned the media you are from.
Yes, I'm Khadijatu Jallo from GRTS.
Okay.
So it has been happening. Now it has happened again. What are some of the measures that you think? Do you think that they are actually buying those tons, or they are only writing the figures? Because this is not small amount that you are mentioning. This is not like a needle that it will fall somewhere. So what do you think is the way forward? And is there any sector that delivered to expectation, or all of them have strategies?
We have to highlight that. Can you give me those sectors that are not with us? Thank you very much, Khadijatu. I used to follow your programs and reporting at GRTS. Yes, this is a very important question, that whether it has been happening. This is a new management. When we came here in 2020, myself and the MD, we came from other sectors. And in 2020, we joined this corporation. Now, what we found here is almost something similar in terms of death. All right? So we have decided to take a paradigm shift on the way, we're going to handle this issue. And that is why AGIP was, invited. Even though they are the financiers, they are also contracted to distribute or to disburse money to SECOs, and they have their representative at the SECO to ensure that what is weight is paid on the spot. So going forward, we are in the process of looking for another option to avoid the existing scenarios that we are seeing. Have that answered your question?
Let me tell you about the shortages.
Yeah? Yes. No, IGB is a financier. They give the money. We also contracted them to be the agent so that is going to pay the farmers at the SECO. So they have their agents posted at each SECO.
Those that haven't registered losses.
All right?
So you have about 55 sectors who did good job.
Yes, we would also like to mention that out of the 95,
These are 40
These are the 40 sectors with shortages that we highlighted. We have 55 sectors that did very well without shortage, and they are
55. It's a lot. 55.
55. Okay.
You can mention their names.
We-
You cannot mention this.
So just to give us, if you want those names too, we will give it to you. Of course, it's better to give it to them.
Yeah, it's better.
We have shortages and the names of those who don't have shortages. Please.
Let's have that.
And okay, we will give it to you. All right, but we commend them. And like the journalist asked, what are we going to do for those without shortages? We are going to commend them and we will certificate them as the way forward. Anyway, thank you.
Let them ask. There's something we have to, before I conclude. The subject is how to
Just want to ask about the trade season. Few years ago, before the coming of Mr. Njai and his current management, GGC was at some point about to be closed and should be commended for the tremendous work over the past years to reach here. But even in terms of production of groundnut, there were already complaints that it's going down. But this year, it seems there is a little bit improvement in terms of production. I want to know what is the difference between last year and this year, not just the prices we know, but in terms of production. Do we have more yields this year compared to last year? And according to GGC, what is responsible of this, if there is any improvement? What is the responsibility of, what is responsible of that improvement in terms of production?
Thank you. You may have several factors. One, the fertilizer that was purchased and applied by farmers, the quality was very good, and it was cheap, affordable, in other words. Now, comparing last year and this year, last year we have about 10 tons, 10,000 metric tons that we purchased. And this year we are now talking of 36,000. There are different factors that I said. Now, the rain pattern also determine the production or the quality of granules. This year we have very good rains, we have the very good fertilizer, and it was applied on time, and the price was very good. And also this year the price of granules in the Gambia is attractive. 38,000 tons, $38,000 per ton, as compared to our neighbors. So these are some of the factors that I can give you.
Huh?
Yes, when you have more tons, of course the production level will go up. The difference is just how many percent? What is it? About 20,000. About 20,000 tons. About 20,000 tons. Thank you.
All right, good morning, everyone. My name is Lolly M. Camara from QTV. I would like to make a suggestion. Going forward, I think those responsible of holding monies, capacities really need to be built to be able to manage finances. If we really want to tackle such challenges in this country, I think we really need to capacitize those that are dealing with monies. At the end of the day, it will just bounce back. You give them money, they wouldn't know what to do. At some point, it goes like that. So this is my suggestion going forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam. Let me clarify. It is not the capacity of our SECOS presidents, of course, our CPMS. We are trying to we are trying to look at how to build their capacity. And then, like you said, the high risk of handling money at the depot or at our SECO is so high that when we came here, we decided to change from directly giving the money to the SECO's president to having an agent of the bank that is doing the financing, and that's AGIP. Having their agent at the SECO doing the payment. Contrary to having the SECO president himself doing the payment. So the capacity building of the SECO president is also being considered to build them. Yes. In fact, to tell you, we did a training at the GTMI for clerks, the secretaries, and even the agents that we appointed to also be part of the SECO operations. So your points are noted. Thank you.
Thank you. Perhaps for a question, I want to clarify some points about the operations of the SECOs. You know, the SECOs, that's why we call them CPMS. These are associations in cluster villages. Like 6 or 7 villages will have a SECO, and they will have a president. They will appoint a president. They will elect a guy, whatever they do to have a president. And this president also will hire a clerk, we call the SECO manager, who will be doing the weighing and to pay the money for on behalf of the society. And then now the corporation is mandated to buy the groundnut, so we'll get the money and make sure the money reaches there. But that's why what the FD is saying, we use agent so that they can dispose this money because they are responsible for finance and they have experience in it. So when they take the money to the village or to the SECO, it is handed to the president and their representative, and you have a representative there. They both receive the money and keep the money. Now, the manager will weigh the groundnut, and that's how we are able to know how much is paid. Now, when it's at the SECO manager, the SECO president is responsible. They buy the groundnut, now transit the groundnut to the depot. What is this depot, we weigh it there also, so we know the quantity they bring. And this is how we make it very transparent and accountable. And then, as he said, the management is trying as much as possible to improve productivity in this operation. And then we are trying to make sure that our operations are standardized and very transparent. And that's why we are able to improvements. You can see a lot of changes in the operation of this corporation. But now, if you look at this, some of these stories that are happening, as he said, we will have a way to fall back. Because we have a lot of things we do with these CMS. Some of them have their commission with us that we're going to give them back. And from there, we can be able to take some. But in addition, we also supply them with fertilizer because we want to make them vibrant, we want to make it sustainable, and we want them to help the communities that they are in. So we give fertilizer and the fertilizer also give us commission when they sell them. So we will be able to fall back, inshallah, so that we recover this money. Thank you very much.
Any more questions?
Yes.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum.
Do we have? Let me ask. Do we have a Foria reporter here? Somebody reporting for Foria? Foria. Where is he? Your questions, please, because I'm making reference to you, not because of something, but we have seen you reporting, especially from URRN, that the last report that we presented was that we are owing Sotumo Sare and Gambisara. And the records are here. I think you will also be very fair with us to take this report, I don't know who you were talking to, and go back and tell him that this is what is happening or these are the records. And you ensure that you set the records straight. Like I said, as we speak, we don't owe any SECO. As we speak, we don't owe any farmer. And that has to be on record. Okay? They know, they will call for the reconciliation. Sotumasire, Gambisara, they never turn up. And they know why. All of a sudden, while we are paying the orders, we saw this report day before yesterday. It's ironic, and I have to express that. As journalists, we expect you to be reporting on things that are accurate. How do you do it? When you get the story from the first part, it is also very good and very important to get the story from the other end, so that you align it before you report. Otherwise, you may report something that is stale. Stale, I means they say, like example, we are owing them when actually we settled them. So which is which? To you, the reporter. What are you going to say the next time? So for your professionalism as journalists, I'm just urging you as an advice. I know you are very professional, no doubt about that. But to keep your integrity is always very good to see what is happening on the other side. That's my advice. And I also want to make this declaration that as far as we are concerned as a management, the 2023-2024 ground season is closed, which means we are not going to proceed to purchase groundnut from the sectors as we stand. And therefore, anybody who has groundnut, according to what they are saying, you can take it anywhere that you can sell it. That is very important. And I want it to be on your record. That as far as this cooperation and this management is concerned, we are in line with the government and of course the Ministry of Agriculture. I understand the minister was asked about it at the National Assembly, and he said that as far as the government or the ministry is concerned, they are not going forward to purchase any ground. You know why? For our situation, we have reached our target as per our budget, and that was 25,000 tons. We went the extra mile to look for that source of funding to go and buy up to 36,000 tons. If we cannot proceed as of now. Now what we're going to concentrate is our production mechanism. And that is, now we are going to process the groundnut that we purchase. Thank you very much.
Okay.
If you have any question, please.
Yeah, Ntetomu CDV Kanye the Tranga FM. Mr. Sana Mbela Fla Kalom, Idiamda Seko La Kuala Nina da Juloni na Fanala, GGC Julo Mensoto ate a Seko La Mendara almost to $32 million. Isa explain no mole ni Julo Akenu Ranyari le fo Seko President Wollemang ate Tiul Sambang Yakodoni Mabo wala ika sumandiro ke nyame ate Seko anika sumandiro ke nyame ni Tiul Nade Atulla Jang. Fo wolle fatata lafta kalo ne juloni adunte to la nyaadi la
Etondi abaraka
CDB Kani
thank you very much from Tanga. Yeah. Momo nala do ko le Seko president ela do ko nyal wobe tol family at the Seko, but it told them first point of contact ni senela ya tilo sambanang aka samba Seko leto ni mira no wotumo e ka fo passwaro maybe wite mu dindi ngol ndolla wato mfama wol ka seno gode passwaro itala seta boto cheme ka landi jebi ya passwaro now atata le fo at a level Seko president on ning Senegal because do ko mimbe tia passwaro to e ka d'accord le womi to la fenkoreti wo sote jo wo Seko president le nyanta wo explain wo keta nyame ndol coming hati wolem ye ka korodila yetio sang yetio samba na depoto ni futa da je yeton sol min samba na depo sova sol bijew iba tio talale ya pesa ya screen bikon tola depo be na depo konon tole soto include saro jam depo tam ni tala dawda e kam masingo tara jeli mi an ko build platform le screen olem ni moto nata aka coste jeli tio nyin ya jindi wo password to eta convoyo bero bije aka bele bondi ya understand ni te mayla tio password sekoto ni natan to la depoto mba password le ite seko presego ite le alo miati na imela tio password ila sekoto ani senela wo soto jo na sita ite le bata namara senata je.
I just have two more questions. One is to clarify the issue of the 32 million. You told us a few weeks ago that you contracted Ajib to be responsible of financing the groundnut because you want to transfer risks to the banks. I want to ask whether when it comes to recovering the money, are you going to share the responsibility with Ajib? Are you going to soldier the responsibilities together to recover the money? The other question is, you targeted 25 metric tons 25,000 metric tons, you have about 36. How much altogether have you spent on the purchase of groundnut this year?
Thank you very much, Mr. Ba. Like I said, the last question, that is how much? I said we have spent almost $1.5 billion for 2023-24 ground trade season. Is that clear? 1.5. And that one includes the commission. Part of the commission. 40 million was paid to the president, to the SECOs, as their commission. Maybe some of you will confuse what is a commission. Now we agreed because they are handling the first point. The farmer will come to the SECO and they do the operation there, and this president is responsible for carrying the groundnuts on behalf of GEC, and then they transport it to our depot. So we are paying each SECO president $2,000 per ton. Now imagine if we have 300 tons, that is how much? About 600,000. So they are not doing it for free. This is why we are also not going to be reluctant to take any action against them in terms of any storage. Is that clear? On the mechanism of recovery, whether Ajib will, whether we'll share the responsibility with Ajib, I said no. Unless where Ajib is found wanting. We have issues that we are going to discuss with them in terms of the way they dispose funds. But in terms of, as far as we have records of amounts of money delivered or disposed to each circle, then that one is clear on their part. Even though there are other operational issues that we need to table with them. Have I answered your question? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Andy. I think we are far into the press review. Unless if there's any question, we still invite questions, and we are open to the media at all times. But in case there is nothing,
let me also announce that with regard to maybe after this president's press conference, other sectors we say we want them to come. If any sector is contesting this, they were here. All of them were here. We did a PowerPoint presentation. The whole day they were here. We did it for 2 weeks. For all of them, we give them drinks, we give them beverages, we give them lunch, so that they will not be saying we are hungry. Sometimes we are here until 7, my team. They sometimes 8, I will ask them to stay. But as far as we are concerned, we have cleared everybody. For the likes of Sabi and Sotomasire, we are still open for discussion. Let them come and contest. But we don't owe any CPMS as we stand, and that has to be clear. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And we are at the end of the press briefing. We would like to thank the Deputy Managing Director for the marathon speech that he did today. And then we would also like to thank our Managing Director, Mohamed Jai, who could not be here today because he's on leave, but he's also very concerned about whatever is happening here today. Of course, as the DFD did at the start, to thank the government of the Gambia, through the President of the Republic, for the support rendered during this season to make this season a very successful one, because we can all see that this year's season is one of the best seasons that ever happened here. We would also like to thank the Finance Director, who is always busy. We are always on him, calling and all the other stuff. You know, so sometimes the pressure is too high on him. Sometimes what happens inside, people don't know, but I mean, a lot of things happen, and so that things happen as how they should be. And then we are all happy that at the end of the day, a lot of fun has been enforced, and we are able to know all what is happening in this sector. Very transparent and very open. We would also like to thank the Strategy Director, Strategy Development Director, who is also here with us, for all the efforts that have been going to ensure that we are able to do what we are doing today.
Monitoring and evaluation.
Monitoring and evaluation. They have been in the field for 15 days with the team.
To reconcile.
to reconcile. They've been there, and some of these second president who also want further scrutiny or further reconciliation, they come here also, as the DMD said, we also deal with them. And today we are happy to announce that we don't have any money for any of these efforts. Instead, some of them for us, So that's the information. The finance team is here. They have been doing very well. As he said, they have been in the office here from 5 o'clock. Though he gives them privileges, so that's good for them anyway. And the development team are here. We are happy, the engineers, the procurement, who have been doing all the procurements. The team driver is here, who is making sure that it tracks. I mean, it's good we can part of them since today officially that the MP have announced that we are closed. So, I like what all these people have been doing. It's also a great team effort, and then all efforts are appreciated. And lastly, we appreciate all those efforts. Without much ado, I think we can end it here until next time. Media engagement will continue. Thank you very much. Thank you.
So